在中国有很多机会，你知道吗？所以我会告诉其他的人，如果他们想要来到中国，他们应该是学中文。So basically, what I'm saying is that if you want to come to China, make sure that you learn the language because it's very important. 非常重要。对 If you want to survive here, if you want to find a good job.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Cool. I'm Nick. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Elvisco. Why are you recording?
Just wanna I came to the airport to see a friend off.
Okay.
But since you're a foreigner, I just wanted to maybe see if we could maybe do a very short interview to get to know a little bit about yourself and then your experience in China.
Well, my flight is going to arrive shortly, so I have to go and get ready. But I mean, what is it going to do about though? Like,
It's just your general sentiments about China, like your experience here as a foreigner.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, maybe you could just start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
So hi everyone. So my name is Elvisco Carrington, and I have been in China for the past 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, but I'm actually going back today's my last time in China. So I recently graduated, so I'm going back. Yeah.
Okay. And how was your experience in China? And how long were you in China?
As I said just now, I was here for 5 years. I would say my experience in China was pretty good, actually. As a Barbadian, coming from a country like the Caribbean region, it was a bit different culturally. I met a lot of great friends, and this was an opportunity for me to learn more about the world because I met a lot of people from different places. And if I didn't come to China, I wouldn't have gotten the experience to do that. So I think overall it was pretty good. I really love it here. There's some foods that I enjoy, such as gulao and romaine. I guess you probably would know about that because you're here in China, But overall it's been great though. So yeah.
So you came here to study, right? You came here to study. What was your major and why did you choose China among all places?
Basically, when I had graduated university, because I had studied law before, so when I had graduated, I was thinking, how do I kind of set myself apart from most other people? And for me, I wanted something different. At that time, I had finished my bachelor's degree in law, and I was thinking to myself, Elvisco, maybe it's time for you to, maybe try something new, try a new place, etc. And as a Barbadian, coming to China and actually being able to have the potential to learn the language and stuff, that would give me some extra skills. And maybe it might come in handy in the future. But when I first started, I had studied international business. The reason why I studied international business, because I guess that's probably what you might want to know, is that obviously law is very myopic. So I felt like international business would have given me a little bit more diversity in terms of curriculum, and who knows, maybe I can branch off into business in the future. So I felt like, let me try something, because obviously China, as you know, they always focus a lot on business. So I felt like doing a degree in business would have been a great start. So yeah.
Okay.
And actually, when I graduated there, I actually was able to find a job here.
Okay.
And actually that's very important because a lot of people, you have to be aware that China is one of those places that it's not every major. Yes, you can get jobs here in China. Most people come here and they do teaching because they see that as an avenue, because obviously it's highly popularized and it's advertised all over the internet, etc. Come to China, you can teach English and you do make a good salary. Some people do make a good salary here, but there are actually other jobs that they can venture into. It's a little bit difficult to tap into, and that's because if you can't speak the language or you maybe don't have connections here, it might be harder for you. For me, luckily I had done an internship and I was always interested in blockchain and stuff like that, so I realized that China was going in that direction in terms of blockchain. So afterwards, I met some friends in the company and some really good people, and they were able to help me find a job as well. They send my CV to their connections and they like my CV. And I was working at a company in Shenzhen for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to make, you said something where I want you to clarify.
Yeah.
Do you need connections, or do you need to know people or speak their language to find a job? in other areas aside from maybe teaching?
Not necessarily, because like here in China, a lot of business they want to. This is based on what I know and what my experience is. All right, it's like, for example, a lot of businesses they want to get into the international market, so they need English. So even if you don't speak Chinese, maybe some people in the company might be able to speak English. Like maybe if you're working in the marketing department or something like that. Yeah, so even in the game, so like for companies like gaming companies, etc., tech companies, like TikTok, as you know, TikTok, BitDance, is the parent company of TikTok. So obviously that is obviously a Chinese company before, it started taking off in the United States, and then there's a transition or something like that. And so yeah, they were able to make it big, and because of, obviously they're hiring a lot of foreigners, they're able to use that to their advantage to help them to grow. So here in China, if you can speak English, there are lots of jobs for you. I think people also need to start to, look for other opportunities as well. But I would say there are some majors, for example, like for me, because I studied law in Barbados, and for me, what I realized is that if you study law here in China, you actually cannot work in China as a lawyer. So even if you do study Chinese and you try to do the bar exam, in China as a to apply to be a lawyer, you can't, because you're a foreigner. So I think there's some restrictions. Even in the tech companies, if you want to work as maybe a tech engineer or something like that, maybe it's also very difficult, because those jobs are saved for Chinese generally. So there are a lot. I think people should do their research before coming to China. It's a really great country. Try to learn as much as you can. Try to meet a lot of people and try to make genuine connections. A lot of people come here to the party. So if you want to, make it, I would say try to focus here on how you can grow here and then party after. So, yeah.
All right, that's a very good advice. What of the salary in maybe this kind of tech companies? Because many times people wanna, do teaching because maybe they might think teaching might pay a lot. But can you, since you've worked in the tech industry or the internet industry at large, can you maybe talk a little bit about, maybe don't give any figure, but like, is it like, do they also pay well? Because I think people want to know this, right?
In terms of paying well,
and of course, personal development as well. It's not all about money and personal development.
Yes. Well, obviously for a lot of people, money is very important. I would say China pays well overall. Interestingly, it depends on the company. If you're coming to China with a lot of skills and something to offer, you'll get paid really well. If you're not starting out, don't expect like a big burger salary, But generally, like for starters, like I know some friends of mine, they can start out maybe $2,500 US dollars per month and up. I'm not sure if that's a lot, but some countries, obviously maybe that's a lot of money, So it depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from a country like the US, maybe you might, obviously the cost of living is higher there and stuff. But obviously if you're in the US, you're living in China, maybe cost of living is so cheap. So obviously, the money will stretch longer. But if you're coming from a country where the salary is not generally high, at least you can, if you live in China, at least you can save more money. You can get maybe a really good apartment, and you can actually send home some of that money for your family if you wish to do so. But I would say that the salary here is pretty good. And if you have skills, if you also graduate from one of the great universities here in China, it will be great. For me, luckily I was able to graduate from Tsinghua University as well. So that's also an advantage. So try to work hard, get good grades, and maybe that could also help you here. But, there's no one ticket, to be being successful in China, or maybe one ticket way to, doing great. There are a lot of different ways, but it all depends on you at the end of the day, As a person coming from Barbados, I know how difficult it is, in the competitive market. So for me, I wasn't going to let up on this opportunity in China, so I tried to maximize it as much as possible, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So I can see you're checking.
It's fine. I still have a few minutes. I'm happy to be here to talk.
Okay. So now you're living in China, right?
Yeah.
Where to? If that's okay to ask, where to?
So after spending some time here, I realized that I've learned a lot here, and I found a job in Europe, Malta. Obviously, my major is law, and I have a really interest in digital assets, law. So I found a job in Malta. So I'm actually heading there, to start my career as a digital assets analyst, lawyer, legal counsel in Malta.
All right.
That's what I'm interested in, and I believe that for China, And for me in China, that experience too that I've been here would have helped me to get that job too, because obviously I worked in the digital asset sector, blockchain technology and stuff, which is kind of related. So I'm going to Malta to start my career. And also too in Malta, they are really good when it comes to crypto regulations, digital asset regulations. So yeah.
All right. What would you miss about China? I mean, you've been here for a very long time. What would you miss?
I'm gonna miss. You're always gonna miss the people that you bonded with, like your friends. For me, that's very important. I think I wouldn't say the food because I'm still not acclimatized to the food yet. If I'm being honest, I'm just gonna be very fine. For me, I think also too, there's some elements of the culture here that I love. The togetherness, the family, like being, close knitted as family. That's really, really good. I find here in China, family is first. That's really good. I would like to, kind of have that in my, family going forward, where my family is very important, and stuff like that. Obviously, there are other things that I miss, such as the why am I, fast delivery food, and also ordering from Taobao. So there are a lot of things I will miss. But it's time to move on. Growth, when you want to grow, when you want to do better in life, sometimes you have to leave things that you love behind, in order to do better. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Is that it? That's okay.
Yeah, that's just about it. You've been here for a very long time, so you can speak Chinese.
Yes.
Can you maybe say like some few words in Chinese, like maybe just some few words to friends in Chinese?
Oh God, it's always weird when somebody asks me to speak Chinese, because it's like, it's not my mother tongue, but then it's like you have to think about what to say,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what I mean. It's like, I don't know, what should I say?
Okay, maybe last words for China in Chinese, or maybe just your Chinese friends. Anything at all, off-head.
Let me think what I would say. I mean, there's so much I want to say, but I don't know which one to say because all is important. I would say, what I say in Chinese that might be great for people. 在中国，我觉得你来中国的时候，我觉得你应该是学中文，学中文最好的方式，你知道吗？因为如果你学中文，但是你生活在中国有很多机会，你知道吗？所以我会告诉其他的人，如果他们想要来到中国，他们应该是学中文。So basically, what I'm saying is that if you want to come to China, make sure that you learn the language because it's very important. 非常重要。Good. If you want to survive here, if you want to find a good job, if you want to maybe have a family here, if you into the culture, maybe you should study Chinese.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for your time.
No problem. Thanks a lot. I have to go now.
Thanks
so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.